Okay, everybody, welcome to the Gorlitz High Performance Garage channel. There's one thing I just want to say here. You can see there in the left top corner, my Chevelle doing a burnout. This is a very highly watched burnout video that's on my channel that I done several years ago. It's been a while. It's surprised me how long ago it was. Okay. Now, let me get to the point here. Everybody's concerned with the camber of that front wheel on my car. It's all twisted in. Okay. I don't know how to tell you all more. This is a drum brake all around, front and back drum brakes on this car, and it is a Malibu, just a Malibu. It's not a Super Sport. It's not a heavy Chevy. I got the SS because it came with fucking grill, and I got the heavy Chevy stickers because I like the look. That's why I got it. That's why I got the stickers and put them on. I'm going to show you here what I'm talking about. That's twisted, and the reason it's doing that is because I'm on the brake and I'm slowly moving it away. It's twisting the car, it's coming downhill, and it's raising the front end at the same time. On those suspensions, on those independent suspensions that it has on the front, and it being of a Malibu suspension, they do that. Okay? It does it. It does that. There's nothing I can do but put, I don't know, tubular A-arms on it. It has had a wheel alignment. It's been a while since it's had one, but that video right there was really a short time after it was aligned. And an alignment shop will tell you if there's something wrong with your car. They'll say there's something more out on the front. You need to replace it because it won't hold in alignment if you do not. With those A-body cars, like that one is, when they have the weaker suspension up front, because it's a small block car, the Malibus were made to have 6 cylinders and small blocks. They weren't, depending on what you ordered, is what the kind of suspension you got. It has the original suspension. It's set up for drum brakes on the front, which means the spindles are not as strong as what the spindles for disc brakes would be. They'll be bigger, more material there. So I just want to pass on to everybody. I'm not pissed. I'm not bitching about it. I'm just letting you know, because I get a lot of comments on that saying, oh my God, you really got to do something with that. It's really bad. It's this, that, and the other. It's all shit's wore out on it. There's nothing wore out. There's nothing wrong. Damn tripod. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing worn out. There we go. There's nothing wrong. It's fine. It's completely fine. So, all right. I'm going to have a seat and Here, look at that. Nice picture of the ass of it. All right, everybody. That's one thing. I just wanted to get that off my chest because people were leaving, comments down there, and they were saying how, oh my God, you gotta really fix that. There's something wrong with your suspension, this and that and the other. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong at all whatsoever. That's just how it is. Everything's new on the front. I went ahead and replaced all the bad stuff. It's got new ball joints, upper and lower. Or no, the upper one's original, actually. The lower ones are new. The tie rods are all, they were all replaced, inner and outer. Because that's kind of shit I look at when I buy a vehicle. I look at that stuff and I try to, I make sure that this stuff is in good condition before I go running around with it, because nothing says run me in the ditch more than a fucked up tie rod that's wore out and could break and shove you in the fucking ditch. So I'm not going to come on here and just bitch and moan about a couple of comments that I got, that I don't agree with. But I understand everybody's concern, and I thank you for the comments. Comments are always welcome. They're always welcome here. And I will do my best to bring to you the content that I said I was going to bring to you. And today I had the truck out. It did snow here about 2 weeks ago. And they were spreading salt around. They did spread a little bit the one day because it snowed and it melted and froze. The bridges were kind of slick in the morning there. But we've had a couple of rainstorms since then. So I thought, what the hell? I'll get my truck out. We had a mining refresher course today, which is horrendous. I had to sit through that. And where we did it was at the Myersdale office over there in Myersdale, Pennsylvania. And the chairs that they have are these plastic fold-up chairs. They're those white Rubbermaid plastic fucking chairs, and the seat in the back is like hollow plastic. The chair started to break down with me sitting in it, and it made my ass so fucking numb. I had to keep getting up, and I had to keep standing up throughout the whole presentation of the mining refresher. And that is like the most boring fucking thing that you ever go through if you're a miner. It's just horrible. The guy that puts it on, I think he witnessed the first fucking rules being put in place by MSHA for mining in the United States. This guy's so fucking old. He has lots of knowledge, though. He's passing on everything he knows, and I mean, that's great. But you can go hit the basics, because we've all been through it for years. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I know the basics. I've been through all the bullshit. Because when you let your refresher drop, you have to go take the whole course again, which is 3 nights, consecutive nights of 8 hours. And it's like, how can you can really go in depth on safety and equipment and regulations. It's all quite grueling and tiresome. And we went through a shitload of stuff. real big on you learning CPR. I'm not certified in CPR because that is not something I would want to do to someone, because I'm not a touchy-feely person. I don't like to touch people. I don't like touching other individuals. I respect their space. I'm not a hands-on, touchy-feely person. I don't go around smacking girls in the ass, shit like that. I don't do that. I respect everybody's space because I don't want to touch people. I feel that it violates their privacy if I do. And it's a good way to get your fucking side of your head slapped. Especially if you're drunk and in a bar and you grab a girl's ass. And no hand come back quicker on the fucking side of your head than a girl's fucking hand. But anyway, they had a dummy there. They had the plastic little thing in its mouth. They had the disposable one so you could give it mouth to mouth. None of us did that. And they wanted to just show you the basics of the chest pumps. Put your shoulders over. You have to get on your knees and make sure your shoulders are over your hands as they're interlocked, and you have the palm of your bottom hand in between their nipples in the center of their chest, around the nipple line is where they say. And you have to do 100 pumps every minute. And you can just imagine how tiring that would get if you were there alone with somebody that was dying and you were doing these. You're basically trying to pump blood up to their brain, which is oxygenated blood that's in the body, because when you start to die, the first thing that happens when your heart stops is it quits pumping blood. So you're not carrying oxygen back to your brain, which it needs in order to control the rest of everything else. And if you're there for 2 minutes doing it, and you're just wearing the fuck out and there's nobody there to help, that person's going to die. So anywho, I had to sit through that shit today, and it was horrendous. I was going to take the Chevelle over. I can't stop yawning. I'm kind of tired today. That class took it out of me. Sitting around that boring bunch of shit. I got a hat. Got a hat out of it. Got two cat stickers. A pen. Ooh, a notepad. Oh my God. Yeah, they gave us that stuff today. Of course, I doodled on the pad. I wrote "fuck you" and drew titties on it and everything in the class, because I'm an ignorant motherfucker. I am an ignorant son of a bitch. I love doodling on stuff when I'm bored like that. But we had some laughs over there. We had a couple breaks. We had lunch. The lunch was catered like it always is. It wasn't horrendous like it was last year and the year before. They had these Italian sausages. They're the ones you get in the pack. They're like bratwursts, but they're raw when you got to grill them up or whatever, cook them. And a lot of times, depending on where you buy these, they're disgusting. The seasoning they have in them is very bland, because they lightly season them, and there's a seasoning they put in them that kind of sticks with them that's not good. And when you use a high heat to cook them, because they're pork, obviously, and you need to cook pork through and through. If not, you'll get sick if you eat raw pork. And they were just disgusting. I mean, you had indigestion and sour stomach just from eating one of them. That's how bad they were. And these days, I'm older, I can't eat shit like that and not expect to have a consequence from it. So it was pretty awful. And there was one guy in there that was
that clearly had sleep apnea. He was a big guy, real big guy. His belly hung way down out from under his shirt. He was a pretty big guy. And he snored like a banshee through most of it today. Because when you have sleep apnea, you can sleep anywhere. You can just doze off. I have it. I mean, it's not as bad as what it was because I changed the way I sleep. I can't use the machine. It keeps me up. So I just sit in a recliner, and that's how I sleep. I can't sleep flat on my back or my side or anything else because then I start hurting. It's fun getting old. It's fun getting old, kids. When you're 40, 45, you'll know. You'll really know. Especially if you abuse your body. Like me, I've abused myself for a huge amount of years. Lifting heavy weight, deadlifts, squats, stuff like that. My hips are wore out. And when I walk long distances, they feel like it's bone on bone rubbing in there, which feels good. It feels real good. And the back issues, I have back issues. I've learned how to deal with it, and I've learned where I can actually help myself straighten it up. I can straighten it up on my own without going to one of these quack fucking chiropractors that they don't know nothing. Stupid. So I can hang from something. I hang from a bar. I have a bar back here I can hang from on my machine. I hang as long as I can take it. And then I do back stretches, and it feels better usually within a day or two of doing it. It feels better again then. The key is to stretch after you do it. Stretch it. What you do is you decompress your spine and you let all that oxygenated blood go in your spine, and it helps. It helps with fatigue and all that shit. So, I had a slip disc here back when I started driving truck. I was running trucks on the off-road on the mine down here, and they were bouncing. They were triaxle trucks. We were hauling coal with triaxles on the mine out of the pit into the coal yard, and they bounced, throw you around. Really rough riding vehicles, and they essentially beat on your body. With all the years of me lifting weights, I still lift weights, which I try to lift weights a couple times a week. Now that I'm older, I only lift about 3 times a week if I'm lucky. I'll get a hair in my ass and come over here and lift weights, which is good. It's good for you. But I don't use the huge amounts of weight anymore that I used to, because it's just rough on your body. It's rough on your joints. And me being a big guy and weighing a lot is rough on my joints. So the goal here is to get the fat off, keep the muscle, and then we win. But it's just rough on you. I was able to slip that disc back in by, I'll go on YouTube and watch some, subscribe to the Jeff Cavalier's fitness thing. He really shows you the right way to lift. If you're ever lifting the wrong way, he'll show you the right way, for sure. He has perfect form, and he's in really good shape. And he shows how to get rid of your back pain. And that disc sticking out of my back laid on my sciatic nerves back there, and it would shoot pain clear down to the bottoms of my feet, and it was just very painful. I had a hell of a time dealing with it. And when I discovered what he was doing, I did it, and it worked. It worked for me, and it don't work for everybody, but it worked for me. I tried it, I did it, and when it acts up, because sometimes it does, Sometimes it'll slip back out there depending on what I'm doing, and I'll have to do it again. But anyhow, this refresher, this mining refresher, it's unnecessary for them to make you sit through that for 8 hours every year. Once a year for 8 hours. It's a very awful way to spend your time. And in all reality, MSHA is a branch, it's an organization of the federal government. You have some states that have their own mining rules in place. West Virginia is a big one. Kentucky's another one. Tennessee, Alabama, Pennsylvania, Maryland. Maryland and Pennsylvania don't have any rules. They don't have any regulations. Federal MSHA guys come in and tell you. And they're usually out of West Virginia. Now, West Virginia, they have surface mining training and underground, which you can start out as an apprentice for the underground ship, and you after you're an apprentice for, I think it is, a year, then you move up, and every time you move up, your pay scale changes and your hat color changes. Like, you'll start off as what they call a red hat, and then you get up to, I think there's a green, there's a black, there's a white. The white hats are usually inspectors, federal mining inspectors, or foremen have the white hard hats. But usually it's kind of like Star Trek. You're the like a red shirt, they have the red hat. You're usually the one that's going to get into an accident before anybody else does. But it don't really work that way. But you get what I'm saying. So it's pretty neat that those states have their own regulations. Now, West Virginia, I had to go to the mine safety office in Morgantown when I was over there because I'd ran coal truck over there. I hauled coal and ash, and I had to get a card for that in order to do that kind of work. And you get it once. It's just a one-time fee. It's like $25, I think, or $50. I forget. But it is it's a coal truck driver card that you get, and it's good for the whole time you're alive. And as long as you have a commercial driver's license, you can use this card. And I had a safety sensitive personnel card I had to get. They require you to get over there. I got that one too. And it's just a small common sense test. And them fuckers, they won't let you fail it. They will make you answer them. They'll say, "Hey, you missed you missed 5, because if you miss 5 on it, you fail it." And they're like, "Go through and change your fucking answers. Read them again. Change your answers." You figure out the ones you need to change. You change them, and only if it's borderline failing, they'll pass you. But they make you. It's to the point where they don't want to have to deal with you every day and keep failing you because you don't know it or don't understand what questions. There's trick questions on it. And those are the ones you usually struggle with a little bit. But they're not bad. So I got all those cards. And the thing is with MSHA, them being with the government, they really don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about your safety. They don't. The individual guys that put on the stuff, they care because they're just working folks like me. They care about their coworkers. They care about people. Now, the federal branch is just there to get money. They send guys into your work site. They'll send a guy in. They have to be there 2 times a year. That's the minimum. But if they want to, they can come in whenever. And if you see them, you're not allowed to say on your fucking CB radio, "Hey, everybody, the inspector's here," because they will fine you. It'll be money. You will have to pay them. They can issue you a citation because they're the federal government. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. which is horseshit. But they can fine you for letting everybody know that they are there. If you see them there, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut. You're not supposed to say anything. But they're pretty lenient for the most part. But they're there to fine you for something so they can collect money. Because that's what our government does. All the agencies are corrupt. They just want to collect money. They want your money. They see that you're, especially these mining, you're there trying to provide a service for the American people by providing them with energy. So the government not only taxes your fucking money to death, they have to come in and take more money from your employer and double and triple tax every other fucking thing. Especially the energy sector. They really like raping you on that. So that's what they love to do. But anyway, I hope everybody can understand, coming from that video, which is an awesome video, I think. It gets a lot of hits. Jesus Christ, last week it had 900 views last week, which surprised me. It kind of come out of the woodwork. Now it's popular, and YouTube has it on a loop. They keep playing it. They keep shuffling it in with other videos, and people see it. And everybody keep those comments coming. If you want to see that video again, just look through my videos. You'll find it. It's there. If not, I'm sure it'll be floating around in there somewhere. You'll see it. I mean, my car's pretty distinctive. It's pretty well, it stands alone for the most part. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my car has 600 and 700 horsepower, because it does not. It has about 400. Around there. I'm not positive because I've never dyno tuned it. So I don't know exactly how much horsepower it has. It would be nice to do that, but then you have to entrust somebody else to run it on the dyno machine and risk them over revving the son of a bitch and blowing it up. Which is, then you're out. Then it's, oh, well, fuck. I blew your fucking engine all over the fucking ground. Sorry. Then you're out. You're fucking out, and that's not a good thing. But one thing I did forget about my truck, because I ended up taking the truck over there today. I was going to take the Chevelle over, but the heater core it's leaking, or it was leaking. I unhooked it a couple years ago now. It does not have heat. The fan blows and the heater motor and everything works, but you need the antifreeze flowing through the heater core in order to get the heat, and it is not hooked up. It's not working. So it would have been a very cold ride over this morning, and I hauled the guy that I carpool with. I took him over with me. I would have had to listen to all kinds of shit, I'm sure, about how cold it is in the car. So I took the truck over again. I took it last year too, and I took it this time. My truck runs good, but it doesn't have that top end. This engine in this truck does not have the top end that, it so fucking needs. Because it's got low end. I can beat people out of the hole if I can get her to bite. If I can get the tires to keep from burning on it, I can get it to bite and take off. I can beat everybody out of the hole. But then they're going to catch me before I can get to the end. So I need to get on that engine. Anyway, everybody, I just wanted to say that about the Chevelle burnout video that's being passed around like a hooker on Saturday night, and just show everybody that that independent front suspension on this car it's going to shove the camber out of whack when I do burnouts. And the car kept coming downhill sideways and shit. Because it's on an angle right there on that. Well, it's kind of flat, but it's hilled the other direction, like towards the one ditch. And when it's kicking pausey, it's going to go downhill over and over. I was trying to straighten it up, is what I was trying to do, but it wouldn't. So I just kind of held it and just kept feathering the brake, letting it eat. And I thought it was an alright video. A lot of people complain on there too that, oh, that's not a burnout. That's not a burnout. I don't know what else it would have been. Looked like burnout to me. They say, oh, you're not supposed to hold the brake. I'm sorry, but it's not going to fog them like that if I just mash on it. If I aid the brakes and get the tires hot, then yeah, I can start letting them heat up, letting them melt a little bit, and yes, it'll take off. I can spin donuts with the son of a bitch. I can do whatever I want with this thing. It'll do it, and it will get away from you easily too. It's because everybody's got to hold all these old cars up to the Hellcat standard, and I really don't give a rat's ass about those Hellcats. Those cars will be gone in less than 10 years. Plus, Chrysler has stopped making them. They're a bunch of dumbasses and jumped on the electric bandwagon. So we're going to see them all fall off from there. Now they're starting to wise up a little bit. I see that they're starting to wise up. They're starting to bring out more gasoline engines, and I believe Chrysler is starting to see the errors of the Biden administration, and they're saying, whoa, wait a minute. These electric cars aren't all what they're cracked up to be. No, no, no. So let's hope they get their heads out of their asses and stop making this fucking trash. I mean, at Toyota, they even have a commercial out that says, we're going to be carbon neutral by 2050. You can't be carbon neutral. There's no such thing. That is a bold-faced, false fucking statement. If I've ever heard one statement, it is that we're going to be carbon free. I've said this so many times. You can't be like that. We won't survive. That's a building block of life. CO2 is a building block of life. And it can kill. It can kill you too. But essentially, when you have plants and trees around you that absorb CO2 and turn it into oxygen, it's like they're shitting oxygen. Our trees and plants are shitting oxygen. Is that light flickering? Looks like it. It is. It's from the camera. Camera does that. It's like it adds 100 pounds to your ass when you're on it. But anyway, everybody, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next bitch video. Unless this nice, decent weather keeps up, maybe we'll get out there for a burnout or two. Maybe. I lit them up today on the way to the refresher course. I stopped and did a burnout under the interstate bridge. There were some coworkers behind me. They got a charge out of that. It was fun for them. And the one tire fire truck over here. So, everybody, have a good one, and I'll see you all on the next one.